Warning: this article contains spoilers for Andor. Andor Episode 4 confirms the existence of multiple rebel factions besides the Alliance in Star Wars. Although the factions would later unite under the moniker of the Alliance to restore the Republic, a number of smaller cells operated before this culmination. Andor is set 5 years before the events of Rogue One, a Star Wars story, and chronicles the backstory of Cassian Andor. Notably, the series will also cover the inception of the rebellion in a galaxy-sweeping fashion, from the stark corridors of Coruscant to the dingy valleys of Aldhani. While the opening 3-episode arc of the series' first season explored its titular character in greater depth, Andor Episode 4, Aldhani, delves further into the origins of the rebellion and the Empire. The budding Imperial regime is becoming increasingly diligent and consolidated, while the rebel factions are splintered. This division is creating trying scenarios for an alliance that is not yet fully fledged, a predicament that is explored through the lens of characters like Luthen Rael and Mon Mothma. After their escape from Ferrix at the end of Andor Season 1, Episode 3, Cassian is reluctant to join up with Luthen Rael. He speculates that the man belongs to one of 4 groups: Alliance, September, Guerrilla, or Partisan Front, stating that all of them are useless. Cassian eventually agrees to help Luthen, despite a lack of information on the sect he would be aiding. Although iterations of the groups have appeared in the show, details have been sparse. Here is a breakdown of each of the rebel factions confirmed in Andor Season 1's timeline. Rebel Alliance. The Rebel Alliance is the most formally organized group of the divisions mentioned in Andor Season 1, Episode 4. Mon Mothma acts as the de facto leader of the group, scheming in secret, while she outwardly projects as the Chandrillian representative of the Imperial Senate. The 4th episode of the show highlights the sacrifice required to live this double life in service of the Alliance, from the perspective of both Mon Mothma and Luthen Rael. During a meeting on Coruscant, Mon Mothma expresses a desire to bring on another member to the Alliance. The senator refrains from revealing the identity of the Alliance's newest would-be member, but it's plausible that the purpose of her visit to Luthen Rael's gallery is to pitch the inclusion of Bail Organa to the cause. Bail Organa also serves in the Galactic Senate as the representative from Alderaan. In this sense, the Rebel Alliance acts as the political arm of the larger resistance movement. Figures like Luthen Rael, Mon Mothma, and Bail Organa preserve their public image while working to undermine the Empire behind the scenes, as they provide the funding and resources that allow the seedy militant sects to survive. Separatists. In contrast to the Rebel Alliance, the Separatists are more estranged from the core worlds. An insurrectionist cell formerly supported by the Confederacy of Independent Systems, CIS, the SEPs mainly operate on the outskirts of the known regions. While members of the Rebel Alliance are active as the official faction of the rebellion, the SEPs are a more dormant faction. The Separatists were at their peak during the Clone Wars era as a coalition that seceded from the Galactic Republic. Cassian's parents were once members of a cell that stood in opposition to Republic military efforts. It was with this group, at the age of 6, that Cassian began his fight against the forces that would later become the Empire. Following his parents' deaths, Cassian is integrated into a Kenari village. In Andor's flashback scenes from Cassian's youth, this village encounters crew members clad in CIS uniforms after their ship crashed on Kenari. Guerrilla. The Guerrilla faction used covert sabotage and infiltration tactics in service of the rebellion. More extreme than both the Rebel Alliance and SEPs, this branch of combat specialists is known for its military prowess. A contingent of the rebellion that employed guerrilla tactics was the Pathfinders, a special forces tracker unit deployed near the end of Rogue One, a Star Wars story on Scarif. Staunchly committed to the cause, members that utilized guerrilla tactics were aware that their actions could bear fatal consequences. The squad of 6 operatives on Aldhani in Andor Season 1, Episode 4, adhere to similar guerrilla warfare principles as the task force seen on Scarif. The ragtag band of rebels aims to utilize hit-and-run tactics in their raid of the Imperial facility on Aldhani. Due to these unconventional violent ambush methods, guerrilla factions were often thought of as terrorists. The portrayal of this set of operatives in Andor fits with George Lucas' original inspiration for the rebels, a group he claimed was based on the Viet Cong. Partisan Front. The Partisan Front is a group led by the grizzled war veteran Saw Gerrera. No stranger to violent insurrection, Saw Gerrera's militancy is well documented, dating back to his time as a freedom fighter on the planet Onderon. While he may have been playing coy with Cassian and Andor, there was some truth to Luthen Rael's line about the similarities of the factions. The Partisan Front's commitment to hit-and-run guerrilla tactics is on full display in the Kyber Crystal heist on Jedha. During his time on Onderon, Saw and his sister Steela were allied with separatist Lux Bonteri. Andor is yet to depict all 4 referenced factions, but don't expect this lack of inclusion to persist. Mon Mothma and Luthen Rael will continue their political maneuvering for the rebel alliance on Coruscant. Further, Cassian's peers on Aldhani are poised to enact a guerrilla warfare strategy in their strife against the Empire. This leaves room in the final 2 story arcs of Andor Season 1 for Star Wars to tell a refreshing rebellion story featuring Saw Gerrera's Partisan Front. New episodes of Andor release on Wednesdays on Disney+. Want more Andor articles? Check out our essential content below. Andor Cast and Character Guide. Star Wars Corporate Zone explained how many episodes are in Andor and when the finale is.